Pappy's back this week. We're back on this tank, see what we can do with it. Right now, I JB welded it, like I said, last week, and I've let it sit all week. And I just want to see if the tank will hold. I put just a rubber cap over where this compressor was hooked up, the compressor head. I left it off. I've got this tank. I can take air from the other one and pressurize this tank a little bit just to see if it's going to leak. I don't think that rubber can hold too much pressure, so I'll try to limit it to 20 or 30 pounds. That'll be enough to tell me if it's going to leak down below. If it's leaking at that pressure, I know it'll leak with even more. I just want to see if it sealed it before I put the head back on it and see, if it's going to work or not. And then if it doesn't, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Someone that suggested go ahead and just weld it up and retap it. I really don't want to do that, but it's better to do that now. I may have to pull the motor off too so I can get this tank up where I can work on it. It is what it is. We're just going to see what we can do. Hopefully the JB weld will seal that, and we'll go from there. We're going to check that right now. So I put the pipe cap on it, and I've hooked the line back to the tank. I'm going to open the valve and see if it leaks and go from there. Let me turn the camera down where you can see. Well, maybe you can see if I just get out of the way. Let me see. There we go. All right. Let's let a little air in and see what happens. I've got it closed off now. Oh, we're leaking air inside, though. That isn't going to work. I'm going to have to plug off. On the other side, I haven't got all that done inside yet, so let me see if I can isolate that one and close off the air there and see what we can do. I'll come back to this. Okay, I've temporarily blocked off the line inside, and now we can try to apply some air to this tank, see if it's going to leak. If it doesn't blow this rubber plug, we'll see if what we got going on down below. So let's see what happens here. Okay, we've got air on the line. Now just put some in here. Okay, that's 30 pounds of pressure. I don't want to go more than that because rubber, I don't think that rubber plug, it's just a rubber 5/8 plug for like to plug off a coolant line. That's all it is, one of those things from Dorman. Not designed to hold more pressure than that. So we'll leave it at about 30. I'll get some soap and we'll see if it's leaking around that fitting. I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to spray it down here and see what we got. I don't see a leak. So I think it's success. We'll try it and we'll go ahead and put the compressor head back on it. And if all goes well, I know the pipe plug's going to be a lot stronger than that rubber plug. So it should, if it's going to leak at 30 psi, if it doesn't leak there, I don't think it'll leak at 120 is what I'm getting at. So we'll proceed on. I think we're good. Get this compressor head back on and working and see if we can get 2 leak-proof or, semi-leak-proof compressors, at least tolerable. That's what we're after anyway. So, okay, I just bled the air off of it. We're going to go ahead and put this pump back on. Let me get a tool and get that. Let's remove this hose. Little rubber plug I got on here, and then we'll reinstall the compressor head and get it back wired up, or not wired up, plumbed back up where it'll run, I'll have to wire up the cord back into the power as well. So this is why I didn't want to go more than 30 psi. It's not really designed to handle that kind of pressure. So instead of that blowing apart, I limited the pressure to 30. But with that done, we'll go ahead and put this compressor head back on and get going. Okay, let's get a wrench and tighten that up. Well, I'm having a hard time holding the washer and the nut at the same point. It's way up at the end of my fingertips, so I have to rig something else up. It came apart easier and it's going back together. They don't have me an access. It's too tight down here for my fingers to get up in there. So I guess I'll tack a piece of welding rod or something to these washers, and that'll help hold things in place where I can get up in there. I can start the nut as long as I don't have a washer on it, but I really prefer to have a washer on it. It came with it, and it's a slotted hole, so I definitely need it. So I'm going to cut this off for a second. I'm going to see if we can weld something to this, and then I'll come back. I'll show you what it did. Okay, I found some 1-inch 87 thousandths, 88 thousandths metal, and it already had a hole drilled in one end of it. So I made a couple of those, and I tack welded the nuts to the end of it to make this easier to get up in here, and this will hold the nut in place where I can get it started instead of fighting with it. So that's where I'm at, and we'll get going. Just watch me work. discovered this doesn't have very good grade of bolt. It just pulled the threads right off when I tried to tighten it up. I'll have to not get the others as tight, and I'll go get me a new nut and a bolt for that one. Wish I'd have known they were that bad, or I would have welded a proper nut to this and replaced the bolt. Oh well. Went to the trouble to weld on substandard low-grade bolts that came with it. I should have known better. All right, we got a different nut and bolt. It's no longer metric. We got one oddball, but it'll work. The other three are already in there. I'm not changing them, so we're just gonna put her together. We'll have 3 8mm bolts and 1 5/16 standard thread bolt. And those take a I guess a 14mm. I was using a 9/16, fit a little sloppy. The original wrenches, I don't have a 14 here. I got them at work, but you know, it's the same thread size. You know, that way I don't have to re-drill or do anything else. In fact, I'm using the same washers. So we just used a 5/16 in place of it. Just had to get a different set of wrenches for it. Anyway, that's done. So just roll this belt back on, wire this thing up, and make sure it's going to pump up and do its thing. There we go. All right. That belt might need to be tightened up a little bit. I'm not going to move the compressor. It's easier to move this motor if I have to. But we'll see what it does. I don't think it's going to slip either way. That pulley's big enough. Yeah, it'll be fine like that, I think, as long as it's not flopping around too bad. All right, let's wire this back up. Let me go double check. I'm sure the breaker's off, but I want to double check. Both of them cycling off at the same time. I do hear a little bit of an air leak. But that's coming from the compressor up here itself. And it's going away. So I can live with that. Just make sure this tank is not leaking. Now we got a bunch of pressure in it. Let me go get the soap again. No bubbles. Old JB Weld held so far. We'll just see how it does. So I'm going to call that a success. I don't see air leaks. We have 2 working compressors now. And now we've sent everything inside. I've got some air leaks in there. I'm going to shut the air off out here and here. And then the compressors are isolated from one another. We'll shut those down and see if either one leaks down by itself. But I think we're doing pretty good there. And then we'll get inside and blow the air off of that and run these lines inside and get that all complete. Then the air's done. Okay, we're back inside. And if you hear Bonnie, she's with me. She's running around in the shop. She's kind of the shop kitty. Sometimes I let her out, but when I have the outer doors open, I don't let her out because she won't come back when I call her. So she's a cat. Cats do that, and I don't want. She's old. I don't want her getting outside, and we do have coyotes and things like that in this area. So I don't want to take a chance on this old girl getting torn up by some animal out, or somebody else's dog for that matter. But she doesn't have claws, so I can't let her out for that reason. She can't defend herself. But anyway, we're going to get to work. And if you see her running around, she's here. She's running around. And I got the doors down, of course. But with that said, just watch me work. We're going to get right back to where we were, back here at the bead blaster. And I'm going to, mount me a block there. I ran out of fittings, so I had to stop. So that's why we stopped there and went back to the compressor last week. So anyway, with that said, just watch me work. I'm going to try to rig a gauge down here by my bead blast cabinet. The one thing I remember the last time is I was always wondering what pressure it was when it wasn't cleaning very well, if it was the compressor had kicked off or something like that. So mount a gauge right by the blaster, and it'll save me a trip having to walk out and check the compressor. So we're going to do it. I'll see if we can plumb this into that block and go from there. If Bonnie agrees, we're going to do it. Okay, I think I found what I need. We're going to add a couple of fittings to it. Add some pipes up to this. We got a gauge. We're going to put a quick connect here for the bead blaster to hook up. All right. I thought I had some quarter pipe plugs, but apparently I don't. So we'll just proceed on and we'll order the fittings and then we'll just leak check the whole thing when I get the new fittings in. So, but we're going to run the next line. We've got to move the camera. I'm going to shut this off and we'll move it to another location. If Bonnie doesn't mind. She wants me to pet her. All right, well, I'm going to shut this off. Okay, we're over here by my workbench, and we're going to make another drop here. Right under this bench grinder is where I want the airline to come out underneath it. So I got to bring it overhead and then come down. So we're going to go ahead and mount the block here, and then we'll run the airline. We'll go backwards and then put a T up here in the line that we ran earlier. So we're going to go with that and just watch me work. I'm going to have to go around the other side to drill the hole through the top, so you won't really be able to see that. So I'll come back to you after that. Okay, now that that's aimed up, I'll bring this down. I forgot about that. So, all right, we're going to mount this block down here under the grinder, and I've got this configured to where one push lock on the top. We plugged off the one back here and the one below. And I just got to tighten this elbow up, have it pointed down. I want a quick connect, be pointing at a 45-degree angle down toward the ground. That's where I plug in hoses, and that way they'll just lay on the ground if you're working with them. You know, I'm going to have a hose reel. This hose reel that's under my workbench now is going to go up at the other end of the shop where it'll be more useful there. In case I pull a car in long ways or this way, you know, I'll have access to the hose reel. So that would make more sense. At least that's the way I want to set it up. So, all right, let's let me tighten this up and we'll install that up underneath the bench grinder. This one is just going to have the 45 right there. Let's see if we can get it right here in front of the camera. Right there, pointing down at the ground. Inlet pipe goes in the top. And we're going to screw that to that block. I got to anchor the block, and then we'll screw this to it. elbow in at the top. Okay, that's the third drop. We're going to go for the fourth, and we're going to go back to where we originally came in, and at the top of that T that we put in last week, I'm going to pick up at the T and run down this way, and then we'll put another T and come across, and we'll have a drop on each side, and I'll have the hose reel on the inner wall right there at the opening into both areas, like I had said earlier. So that's what we're going to do. Just watch me work. I'm going to set it up best I can. I'm having a hard time with the camera and trying to go up and down ladders. So, but right now, I want to put a plate over that one socket above me. Okay, I've configured the next drop. I'm going to put it right here next to the garage door. Then I'm going to, that T that we put up above, right up there, we're going to run across and bring it down, and I'll put the second drop at this end of the shop. That's what we're at, and we're going to go with that and just watch me work. Okay, that's it. We've got all the airlines run, and we'll order a kit for the quick connects, and we'll do a pressure check next week. But other than that, the air system's done. The compressors are, doing what they should be. They're holding pressure. I just checked that myself, and so we're good to go. It was a good day. So until next week, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.